Hi, this is Jody Roundhouse with the Roundhouse Report. Oh, and we're going to be talking about the Notre Dame Cathedral, the burning of the Notre Dame Cathedral. This is a fluid situation, so I have to date this. Today is April 16th, and it's in the evening time. So there's been a couple of sources that have come out in the past couple of days. One came out saying that a disgruntled teenage girl had parked a car full of potentially explosive materials in a car next to the cathedral. The next thing I know, I see a headline that the construction work caused a fire. And then the next thing I know, people are starting to ask, did it? Why? How? And, okay, well, look at what's been going on in France, where the Notre Dame Cathedral is. What's been going on in France for the past months, the Yellow Vest movement. What else has been going on in France? Mass migration of immigrants from the Middle East and from Africa, North Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa. Tend to be Muslim. Okay, so you either have the Muslim migrants doing it as an attack against Western culture, as an attack against Christianity, in their minds, perhaps the seat of Christianity, I don't know. Or it is a yellow vest, false flag operation meant to shine light on French President Macron's immigration policies and on their own movement, the Yellow Vests. I really think it was Muslims, though. I don't think it was the Yellow Vests. I think that the French have a lot of pride and things like that. Now, some crazy terrorist extremist element within the Yellow Vest movement could have done it, but the Yellow Vests have been hijacked. It started out as one thing, and now it's 100 things. You have you got climate change guys in there. You have anti-globalization guys in there. You have just general people want to fight up in there. You have because you had street battles underneath the Arc de Triomphe. I mean, it's crazy. You know, if you Google it, look at the images. It's like World War II is going on. It's freaking nuts. And Notre Dame Cathedral symbolizes a great deal about Western civilization, specifically Europe and Christianity. And I find it hard to believe that, regardless of how disgruntled one is, when taking that factor as opposed to the Syrian or Middle Eastern migrant factor and the things that they're doing in Europe, all the ISIS-affiliated attacks over the last couple of years, when you weigh the two, I think it's more likely that the Muslim extremists did it. It's their war, it's their jihad against the West. They said they were going to do it, and they did it, or are doing it. So movements have developed, anti-migration movements, anti-migrant movements have developed in Germany, and have developed in the Scandinavian countries, developed in Italy, obviously, with their new populist government, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Poland, etc. If now France jumps on board and people begin to rally and march en masse, and if they were to reach critical mass in any one of these countries, if the anti-migrant demonstrators became so voluminous, say hundreds of thousands of people take to the streets in Germany, for instance, where there are regular mass rapes of German citizens by Syrian migrants specifically, mass gang rapes. Also in England, rape squads roam the streets. They gang rape indigenous British women, and then they all flee. And since they're migrants, they're not registered. They're not going to be caught. So they're ruining life after life over war guilt or World War II-esque era, Merkel Nazi guilt, letting in 1 million refugees right out the gate, and then allowing them to spread. They're voting in their own. The mayor of London is Arab Muslim. I think he's Arab. I know he's Muslim. But you have this trend going on and on and on, and now, and in England and in France, I hope that there's a backlash, an indigenous-based, grassroots, angry backlash at the bullshit being pulled by these migrants who are flooding into these countries. It's an invasion. It's part of jihad, except here they are migrating and conquering, essentially, the continent of Europe, without firing a shot, in so much as the European nation states or democracies and the indigenous people in Europe, the white people and stuff, they don't have a lot of kids. The Arabs do. So in a generation or two, they're going to start voting in Arab candidates like they did in London. So within 2 generations, as one writer put it, Europe will officially become Eurabia, and the continent will have been lost, and jihad will have been spread one more continent. Or Islam, rather, will have been spread one more continent, because the goal of Islam is to control the world in a tangible sense. That's my understanding of it. Not so much in a spiritual sense, in a literal, tangible sense. And they only listen to violence, they being these revelation-esque, because a lot of it, Islamic revelations, it's like their version of revelations. Islamic prophecies espoused by the Iranian theocracy. Everything's intermingled with geopolitics, religion, tribal sectarian differences, etc. Now, regarding these different these outlets, regarding like the Notre Dame fire, the migrants that are doing these attacks in Germany and in England, all the time, thousands and thousands of attacks. How many times have you heard about it in the media? Because I've only seen a few of them. Remember in Cologne about a year ago, in Cologne, Germany, where they did, groups of migrant Syrians went on a rampage for like a week, and they were just gang raping German women left and right. And the German media clamped down and they blacked out the story, but they got, and it got, the story was revealed anyhow. So I don't know how much they're blacking out that we're not even getting a hold of. They being, Germany, France, etc. And also, I don't know exactly with regard to the Notre Dame Cathedral, the amount of misinformation and disinformation being put out is astounding. Again, this is a fluid situation. It's April 16th. I could end up being dead wrong. This could end up being a straight-up accidental fire. I highly doubt it. I think it was Muslim extremism. And if not that, then the Yellow Vest movement, one of the groups that have hijacked it, some extremist group, an Antifa/anarchist group. They hit that church to bring attention to their movement or whatever. All right, France, don't mess this up.